This is what peak brown male performance looks like. Isn't that a thing of beauty? I'm watching, but so is the rest of the Afghans as the Indians dominate. Are we watching a Bollywood movie with two bache films in the same scene? Not like that. I mean,
नहीं करना पड़ेगा भाई देश का सवाल है बच्चों पे नहीं छोड़ सकते.
Is Afghan basketball similar to Afghan cinema, where we prefer the Bollywood version of it instead? Do we prefer Indian hoopers?
Dudes, you guys are gonna go back in time. Yeah!
Let's take it back to 1919, when Afghanistan's Khan decided to attack British India. And we won. And we did it with style. He had bars, but that's how we got our independence. My man said, "I proclaim to all of you, the truthful subjects of my loyal person, that the treacherous and deceitful English government has been since a long time practicing with diabolical treachery and fraud many shameful oppressions upon us." Aman Khan won. He beat the Indians. We got our independence. He beat India. Actually, he beat King George V, but let's not get into that. 104 years later, we have a different type of battle, different type of war. It's cyber. Or in our case, basketball, and a man who took it personally for his ancestors. But what do the Afghans think? Let's ask one of them. What do you think about these Indian hoopers?
Hey, the more the merrier. I don't think, yeah. Whoever they want to allow, let's allow it.
This did not age well. It felt like NTL was going at 50% max most of the tournament, and then they got tired. But it wasn't because they lacked skill. Amazing ball movement for a wide open shot, Sean Marion. And then they had slashers through the hoop. This guy was the MVP for sure. Siapos could not do anything about it. Even though there was some response, number 99, he's definitely not Afghan. It didn't really matter because the transition buckets were easy. That's a bank. And it's a Sunday.
कि 1770 की अगर मैं बात करूं, 1770 में सबसे पहले जो the first Bank of India was formed.
Most of the games, it seemed like NTL was just trolling. I mean, like, they were just having fun.
Yeah, he's like 22.
If you're watching this and you're angry at me, you shouldn't be. Be angry at yourself. Bisham, your father's ashamed of you, even though you're successful. But NTL cannot be making fun of Afghans like this and playing at 30%. This is embarrassing. Okay, let's take a break. Rediscover the inner athlete in you. Visit yoursecondpush.com and use promo code BACHAMWeBroke to save 10%. Here's a demo of one of our products.
I feel like I can talk so much faster.
This is a jaw exerciser. It helps shape your face.
But this thing is like a little rubber thing, and you can get it like a bigger one each time. And I just bite on it in the morning, and it kind of helps.
Warm up your jaw before talking or other things.
It's harder than it looks.
All right.
Hear my thoughts quick. I saw some amazing Afghan hoopers in California. As a Canadian, I'm like, oh, this is amazing. Super dope hoopers. Some dudes got crazy bags.
Doctor Shudi? Doctor Shudi.
But it wasn't enough. Maybe we needed Fardos. Where the hell is this dude? Alright? Actually, he's busy being called a terrorist.
A college basketball player born in BC confronted a fan who allegedly called him a terrorist.
Let's get back to the game. We can go on and on talk about Afghans cooking. But let's watch NTL. Perhaps we are better defensively. Nope, not at all. Oh my god, that was easy. Yo, that guy's tough.
The way you said it was crazy.
I think basketball's not physical enough for him.
Pause. That was crazy.
I think it's not physical enough for our people. You know, we should go back to being a chapandas. For the people that don't know Buzkashi, here's a scene that could probably explain it better than I could. Kind of confusing, but it's our national sport, so don't make fun. Look at all the kids getting excited once we're on a horse and we're literally destroying each other just to hold on to this goat. That's what maybe we need to do. Basketball might not be our thing. Anyways, let's watch the rest of the game. Welcome to the last bit of the fourth quarter. And it is relatively close. NTL made it tight. And you're thinking, my man, you're talking about NTL showing dominance India over Afghanistan. What are you saying, that it was a game of free throws? NTL was playing about 30 to 40% in this game. They were literally just messing around. They were like, ای بچه خورده است ما چی کنیم کتشان؟ معلوم میشه کارشان زیر تاثیر است. بیا یک کم سخت کتشان بازی کنیم و هیچ نمیفهم چی کنن. I was getting secondhand embarrassment for the Afghans. I'm like, you guys just choose to show up at times. I don't like this. I don't like this at all. But one thing that was super awesome to see in this whole tournament is whenever an Afghan team played a non-Afghan team, and there's two Indian teams, everybody was rooting for the Afghans. We wanted them to win. Even Xiaopos tried, but the Chapandas was right there. Thank God. Ultimately, I just feel like if you're putting a team together, you can't make the non-Afghans be the better players. My man, it just doesn't make sense. At that point, why are you even calling yourself an Afghan basketball player if you need a Xiaopos or Chinai or whatever to be on your team? And for you guys hearing this and thinking I might have said something, that's how Afghans talk. It's our own language. It came down to the wire, and they made no mistakes when they really tried. And that was the funny part, because they were just so nonchalant that whenever they put the pressure on and there was a press, the Afghans were mad zir tasir. They're like, we don't know what to do. And you know what NTL does? They throw a fucking lob. Bro, think about this. The game is so close. They're just like, we got this in the bag. You guys are nothing. I respect the Afghan shooters out there. There was a lot of them. They made tough buckets. But it wasn't enough. 104 years later, India got their revenge. Here's the postgame.
What's going on? My name is JawSculptor and I'm playing for Team NTO.
Okay, awesome. How was that last game?
Did pretty good. I mean, at the halftime we were up 15. They came back. They hit a couple big shots, but we closed it out. We were down, I think, 5 points, and we closed it out with the free throws at the end.
What is your strategy during this tournament or moving forward?
Best strategy moving forward is probably to stop, I think, the best player in the tournament. There's two good players that we have our eyes on. There's Zubair from out of Toronto, and there's one guy, Moose. He's out of Stockton or Antigua, I think. He played for the Afghan national team. He's a great player, so those are probably the top two players we're looking at right now to stop.
So you're pretty much saying everybody else is a bum. Okay, got it. Who's the player of the game?
Player of the game, I'm gonna have to give it to Vic. You know, he's a great player. He's a point guard, number 2. Yeah, so he's a good leader. He's a good captain. He controls the pace. He slows the game down, and he doesn't ever get out of pace. So I'm gonna have to give it to him.
Will you get the win for your ancestors?
Yeah, I think we'll get the chip. Pretty confident in that.
What's your thoughts on Afghan basketball and the overall community?
Afghan basketball community, man, I love it. I mean, I don't see a lot of these tournaments, but I would love to see them throw more tournaments compared to like the Indian and Punjabi population. Like, we have a lot of tournaments that we have throughout the year annually. We have like 4 or 5, you know, in California, within just California. I know there's one big one in Virginia too that a lot of people go out to, but I would love to see a lot more here in California.
I'm not sure what you guys heard, but in my Afghan ears, what I heard was, y'all bums, stick to cricket. That's the only way Afghans can defeat India in 2023. But when it comes to hooping, you guys can't touch us.
What is wrong with me today? You leave those.
I felt like, as an Afghan content creator that just came in, I'm like, okay, this is going to be dope. I'm going to document the fact there's going to be talented basketball hoopers, and I'm going to interview the winning team, and we're going to look at it. But it wasn't the case. I felt like Chris Rock in the Good Hair documentary.
It's a documentary about black women's hair, the details of it, the importance in culture. We go to a scene with different stylists, and we find out the best stylist is a white guy named Jason.
Bruh.
If you're asking me why I know so much about this documentary, I would say stop this right now and go watch it, and you won't ask anything further. This beat LeBron James in more than a game.
I had one coach, and he used to say, put yourself in situations where you're not comfortable.
Oh yeah, that's my favorite saying. That's my favorite saying.
You can support this channel by going to yoursecondpush.com and using promo code ByChainWeBroke and save an additional 10% off. This is awesome. Find out more about our JawSculptor with Huberman.
These like things where like
Bouncy mouthpiece.
Yeah. The only problem is it makes people drool. It's pretty gross. But you know, it's
work.
Exercise, they definitely work. They change your facial structure. They dilate the the nasal passages. You look at somebody who keeps their facial muscles strong. And this is for women and men, their jaw muscles strong. People who care about their facial structure, especially who don't want, a lot of people are concerned like, what's going on with my skin? A lot of women and men are like putting all this stuff on to figure out how to get rid of the droopy eyes. It's actually a facial muscle issue. And were they just to do some jaw exercises and focus on not mouth breathing, it completely changes the structure of the face in just 2-3 months.
Thank you for watching so far. Again, go to yoursecondpush.com and use promo code ByChainWeBroke. We are now watching NTL versus Afghan Warriors. Spoiler alert, the title of this video. This was annoying. Watch.
This is video. No, this is video. Yeah. We'll see. I'm sorry? Yeah, every game. Yeah.
Yo, I just got here and I'm setting up my tripod and a DSLR, and my man asked me if I'm going live and I'm filming everything. That could make sense to some people, but look at me, I'm holding a DSLR. In the back of my mind, I'm thinking, who's this skinny ass, horrible facial hair, glasses, nerdy ass, would get bullied by Nelson, Millhouse looking ass?
I specifically said no geeks.
But my mom says I'm cool.
Next.
But then I find out he's a player, so I'm like, let's watch his game. Damn. Wait, that's a steal. Look away, look, oh, left. Okay. Alright, I see it.
Ooh, that brother's floating in the air.
Wow. Shit.
I owe you an apology, I wasn't really familiar with your game.
I'm out here trying to roast this dude just because he made an error about the camera, and now I'm blaming myself. That's how good of a hooper he was. He was one of the best players on the court. Go ahead with your thirst traps in front of the Kaaba, my man. You deserved it. I hope there's a lot of hojabis in your DMs right now. 72 plus, it's yours. Let's get back to basketball.
They made an effort, but it wasn't enough. VA Wolves were second, Outlaws third, Conqueror Soldiers fourth, Stable, you guys are ops, no offense, Psych, Steppers, and then Afghan Warriors. Imagine creating an Afghan basketball tournament and Indian guys are like, yo, this looks like an easy bag, easy dub, and they get it. All right, this is embarrassing. This is embarrassing for Afghans.
Today I feel gay.
You're telling me that I'm out here watching the best Afghan hoopers and none of you guys could beat the Indian hoopers? If you're like, man, they're so good, why don't you help us? Bro, that's the problem. Man, this is not about me. I'm just watching this. I'm outside of this. I'm watching this like Bisyar, fam, Bisyar.
اینه یک ذره واین میخورید
Thank you to Sable Films, and shout out their team. They had a solid team. There's a lot of excellent hoopers. The only thing that I will say is Nori, the commissioner of this tournament, level up your marketing. Because fam, there was no kakas or khalas arguing in the stands, and that's what we need, and that's what we want. Shout out this man for the crossover, and he finished. He'd be walking out with a Jordan Poole baddie, but there's nobody there because Nori needs to step up his marketing. NTL had great playmaking to get easy plays like a dunk. And then on the defensive side, number 2 was a beast. My man has like a 36, 38-inch vertical. 21, I don't think you're Afghan. There's a lot of that. Fahim tried it. Number 2 is like, not in my house. There's a lot of black guys there, and they definitely turned Afghan.
My stepper gon' brush him if I press the button. Too drippy to scuffle. The blick in the duffel, it came with a muzzle, so why would I touch?
Shout out to Stable Films once again for putting this together, but there's a lot of NTL highlights. Y'all really repping for the home team. Defense was on point. Yosef, big man, made a lot of clutch plays. I know he was down in the paint, but I saw him make a couple threes. I think it was on the first clip. I highly recommend you check out the other clips I put together. Solid playmaking overall by a lot of the hoopers. My man, I didn't know how I felt with non-Afghans from the tournament. It was the first time I saw such a thing. You know, I just think if Afghans won, I would care less. A lot of athletic plays, a lot of athletic hoopers overall. Some people look like they were on their 4th, 5th kid, but not my man in the paint. He's got a soccer tournament in SoCal. The shooting was on point. I can't lie, you know. Afghans were really on top of that, so shooting was tough for all over the place. This dude right here, man, a lot of clutch threes. There was a point where he made 3 in a row and their team needed it, so it was like 4th quarter, and I'm like, damn. Then I see everybody else is pretty focused. Fortunately, I didn't see any fights, so everybody kept it professional and they played the game. Number 99, the Wayne Gretzky of basketball, hilarious. I love seeing the post plays, I love seeing the aggression. Everybody was just going hard the whole time. Pause. They were just really focused. Not just the shooting, but the intensity on defense. Some of them were shooting from the parking lot, which was great to see. It's like they had crazy range. NTL again. My man Sable Films, y'all really put together an NTL highlight clip featuring some Afghans overall. And even the Afghans, some of them look Latin, man. But then again, we all kind of do. My man is shooting from the parking lot. He's getting drunk with the cause. God damn. NTL Big's like, you can't stop me.
And for the seasonings, we finish with some garam masala.
And he was probably right because they won majority of the game. A lot of picture perfect forms. This one, it went in. Shout out number 4. Jump shots, a lot of athletic plays. So it's really good to see hoopers giving it their all. That was a Kobe fadeaway, man. Y'all see that. Sable Films, great for catching all these moments. My man with the aggression.
Who's doing what? Oh, that's the glide. That is a cool move. I like that. Yo, hand down, man down. Why would you do that to this kid? He doesn't make mistakes like that. Sean Marion, but it's splash. So what can you say? I like this move. Hezzy, jump shot, and simple. Stable looked good. Their whole team. Number 7, the aggression. That guy was solid, man. My man over here taking deep shots in and outside the court. You know what I mean. Jaws, one of the Bache films for this YouTube video that I'm putting together. Yosef made some tough shots with good defense in front of him. He was not utilized enough. Their team was good, but just not on defense. So NTL was just kind of like, this is easy. A lot of talented shooters, and they were high volume shooters. So when they're shooting the lights out, you can't really do much. And that was the case for most of the teams there. So everybody had some elite shooters. The playmaking is my favorite part, and that's what I love to see. But overall, this tournament was cool. It was fun. Afghans, y'all gotta get the dub next time. This is embarrassing. So I know I'm kind of joking, kind of trolling a little bit, but let's do better. Let's be better. And Nori, thank you for having me. And if you're kind of like, shit, I shouldn't have had this guy film this whole thing. Well, I'm sorry, but I'm Afghan. What do you expect? Peace.